Tomasians, I'm sure that we are all looking forward for the Christmas break. Pero bago yon, ready na ba tayo for the final examination week? Pagod na ba tayo mag-review at mag-aral? Para sa iba, pagod na magtrabaho. O kaya naman, mas pagod na maniwala na magbabago pa siya at sa mga pangako niya. Kung pakiramdam natin, wala na tayong lakas at gana magpatuloy, tandaan natin, sa salitang pagod, andon ang letrang G-O-D. God is with us. He grants us the grace and strength that we need to face our struggles and challenges in life. But the question is, do we recognize God's presence and welcome Him in our hearts and our lives? This will not happen if our hearts are full of ourselves. As we celebrate the second Sunday of Advent, the Gospel reading from Luke reminds us to prepare the way of the Lord, and we can do this by making space for Him in our hearts. Pope Francis invites us to reflect two important things in the Gospel: the place where John appears, which is the desert, and the content of his message, which is conversion. Desert and conversion. First, it is in the desert that John the Baptist preached. Prepare the way of the Lord, make straight His paths. He could have chosen another place, but what is striking with the desert is the reminder that even in an arid and empty waste, the glory of the Lord is revealed. There is no place that God cannot be present and visit. Pope Francis highlights that there will always be times when we feel that we are in the midst of a desert. Yet, it is precisely there that the Lord makes His presence felt. Indeed, He is often welcomed not by the self-satisfied, but by those who feel helpless or inadequate. The void and emptiness in our hearts can only be filled by God. Not even by achievements, possessions, ephemeral things, and people. God alone visits our existential deserts, so we should not fear situation of dryness, as God can turn our sadness and loneliness into true joy and peace. Second, John the Baptist proclaims a baptism of repentance for the forgiveness of sins, which focuses on the importance of conversion. Pope Francis explores the etymology of the verb to convert, metanoein, used in the Gospel, composed of the preposition meta, which here means beyond, and the verb noien, to think. It tells us that to convert is to think beyond, to go beyond our usual ways of thinking, beyond our habitual worldview, all those ways of thinking that reduce everything to ourselves, to our belief in our own self-sufficiency. The call of John the Baptist is reinforced by the words of Jesus, Doc in altum, go into the deep. We are invited to go beyond ourselves. By doing so, we can embrace what God has in store for us. Pope Francis further explains that everything changes when we give first place to the Lord. That is what conversion is. As far Christ is concerned, we need only open the door and let Him enter in and work His wonders. Sabi nga nila, huwag mong gawing mundo ang tao lang. Doon tayo sa Diyos na nagkatawang tao kasi Siya ang bubuo ng mundo natin. As we prepare the way of the Lord this Advent season, may our hearts be filled by God's love and grace.